Hello, this is Crown Your Career. We help six-figure earners grow in purpose, power, and personhood. So, before we get started, we want to remind you that our platform offers career coaching and consulting services. Schedule your LinkedIn optimization and resume review today by clicking in the pinned comment section and in the description box today. Now, let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen regarding an article that I saw in Forbes. This article is concerning 3 things to keep in mind when hiring a career coach. Now, this is written by someone who is a pretty well-known job search strategist, and I'm going to just go really quickly through the 3 recommendations that she has. Number 1, she states that you should know that there may be a need to shop around before finding the best fit. So everyone may not be a match for you, and that's okay. She also says, number 2, to look for a coach who uses a personalized approach. This is very imperative because there's not a one size fit all to the process as it relates to finding a job. And obviously, what that means is that you will have some people who the process will look a little differently for them. Everybody's struggle is not necessarily with interviewing. Some people may just have the issue that they have the skill set and they have, the education, but they're not necessarily good at listing that information on their resume, or maybe they need assistance with making sure they have a more clarified cover letter. There was someone who had reached out online referring to myself for help as it relates to their cover letter. They were a software engineer that was looking to move into becoming a business analyst. And even though they had really good ideas, none of the information they put on the cover letter quantified the impact that they actually made at the organization that they were at. And it was a very well-known organization. It was pretty obvious that that person was very skilled in what they did, and they could speak to how they grew, but they weren't very good at quantifying the impact that they had while they were in their previous organization. So you want to make sure that your resume and your cover letter, your executive summary, that it immediately captures the attention of the recruiter, hiring manager, the employer, whoever is reviewing these documents. They only look at it for a couple of seconds. They're not deep diving. So you need to immediately grab their interest and their attention. And it's great when you're looking to hire a coach to hire someone who uses a personalized approach that will best suit you, and to be wary of over promises. A lot of times some people should make, they will tell you this is a guarantee that you'll definitely get hired in 2 weeks and things like that, or in 30 days. And to be honest with you, the market is very much all over the place. It can change from day to day. Maybe in one moment, it can be very easy for entry, and then another moment it could be very difficult, a very difficult barrier for entry. So it really just depends on the industry that you are trying to get placed in, and also the opportunities that are available in your set demographic, or the location that you're looking for, the industry you're looking for, the type of role you're looking for, if there are opportunities. Obviously, for the people who are in, I'd say, tech or healthcare, there's going to be more opportunities. If you're in STEM, there's going to be more opportunities, but there might be more opportunities in certain geographic locations. So you have to keep that in mind as well. And then also, for a lot of people, they're looking for remote opportunities or hybrid opportunities where they can stay at home for the most part and maybe go to work a day or two. They're not necessarily looking to work within the office. So that's another thing that you want to keep in mind. And then you have the COVID restrictions. All of those elements play a role in the availability and the access to the opportunities. So just be wary of over promises. One thing I will say with myself, I don't make strong guarantees, because really the results depend on the client and the amount of effort that they're willing to put in. I can tell them what to do, but at the end of the day, like, the market, is the market, and you need to be very resourceful as a client to do the work that is necessary to get where you need to go. So that means if you need to be a little bit more out of your comfort zone with networking, even if it's informal interviews, whatever that takes, or reaching out to previous supervisors and colleagues, it will put you perhaps in positions where you're not as comfortable, but that is what honestly will bring you closer to opportunities. So one of the examples that the writer of this article, she states that essentially if you're working a job where you're getting 10,000 a month, each month that passes that you're not actually in the position that would pay 10,000 a month, you're actually losing $10,000 a month. So that is referring to people who make $120,000 per year, and that is before taxes, obviously. So there are jobs that do pay that much. And these are the types of jobs that I am looking to help clients with. So I feel like, for each month that passes, if you were someone who was making 120,000 a year, and each month that passes, you're now not making that comparable income that you could be making. So it is worth it, absolutely, to get a career coach, and not just any career coach. You want to make sure that the career coach is a fit for you and that they offer a personalized service that is specific to your situation and that is customized to your situation. When I help people, I always look at where they're at. Like if they have strong skill set, strong background, if they don't have an issue with getting interviews, then I'm not going to place a heavy emphasis on changing, the resume and cover letter. Maybe I might focus more on the interviewing skill set. And if people are struggling to get in the door with the screening process or getting interviews, this is where I will put more emphasis on making sure that not only do they have a strong resume and cover letter, but that they also have an optimized LinkedIn, and that they also know how to articulate their skill set in an interview, that they know how to network, that they know how to negotiate once they are given an offer. So it is very important to know those things. And then also, I do hear some people say that it is very imperative that you try to find someone who actually has worked in your field. While I agree with that to an extent, I don't necessarily think that it is necessary for you to work with someone who has worked in your exact field. You could, and it could be very helpful in certain cases, but I don't think it's necessarily required, because someone who has worked in HR or has a strong understanding of business, that understands the recruiting cycle from beginning to finish, that understands the ins and outs of policy, how ATS works, our HRIS systems, like how those processes works, which basically just stands for HRIS, just stands for Human Resources Information Systems. That is what is used to track the resume. I think when you're working with someone who has a clear understanding of business practices, how HR works in the greater organization, that is pretty much common in any company, that they're going to have an HR team, that they're going to have a hiring manager, that they're going to have even the employer, or they may have a consultant that helps them as it relates to HR hiring and the recruitment and that cycle. So if you know someone that understands HR, if you know someone who understands the hiring process from beginning to end, if you know someone that has worked with a variety of people from different backgrounds, I would say that that's more impactful to make your decision of working with someone who's a little more versatile with who they have supported. I know for myself, I've helped people from over 20 different industries and backgrounds, and even at different levels, because I supported those experienced workers who were, it was to counter those who face age discrimination. And then I also helped people who were, recent grads or who would soon be recent grads. I've also helped people who are mid-level professionals. And obviously what I'm currently doing is helping mid-level professionals to senior level professionals who are seeking six-figure opportunities, or people who are already six-figure earners that are looking for opportunities that are more suited for their purpose, their power, and their personhood. If that is something that interests you, definitely reach out to me. I am available, and I do offer personalized services. I do not do one size fit all. At the same time, I like to let people know that I have been able to help people. I would say about 90% of the people that I've helped, they have been placed within 3 to 6 months of working with me on a one-on-one weekly basis. I'm not going to necessarily state a guarantee, but I just share that information so people are aware of what is possible. And I do want to emphasize it does depend on the mindset and the willingness and even the emotional state to some extent of the client and their ability to be coachable, their ability to make moves. Because sometimes the only reason it takes a longer time for someone to get hired is just there's a lot of mindset challenges that have to be overcome first in order for them to move forward. So, as always, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click the bell for notifications. This is to your crown of success. Thanks for watching.